Why do you think we are quiet, some of us? Because we are benefiting from living here. Honestly speaking, please. So all the organizations that are really fighting for South Africa, kudos to you. But please note that the people that are insulting you, especially online, they are not in South Africa.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Let's take a look at these updates and how people are receiving the message of the illegal immigration protests that are happening in South Africa. We have seen that many have called out this action, calling it xenophobia, and some has even gone far as saying actually it's just Afrophobia. We'll take a look at those thoughts and sentiments as well. They come from a place of hurt because some have seen recycled videos and videos that have nothing to do with the current protests that are being linked to this March and March activities. We'll take a look at those as well. But there is a silver lining. South Africans, you are not entirely being unheard. There are people who actually live in different areas of the world, in different countries in Africa, who actually understand and hear what South Africans are saying, besides those that are being defensive and ignoring the call to fix Africa for Africans instead of South Africa for Africans. What are your thoughts on this? As we take a look, please give this video a thumbs up, and remember, immigration laws exist in every African state, so do the borders. So let's also not neglect the responsibility as this generation to encourage African leadership to do better. Take a look at this. What are your thoughts?
Imagine being treated like a second-class citizen. Like your needs don't matter. You come second after the needs of everyone else have been totally fulfilled. Wouldn't that be frustrating and painful? Now here is the truth. If you are living in someone else's home, someone else's country, you are not a citizen, leave alone being a second-class citizen. So staying there is a favor. And when your host no longer needs you, don't fuss about it. Don't try to gaslight them. Just live peacefully for the sake of everyone involved. The only thing I believe you should be allowed to do is given a safe passage, so that if you had investments, you can dispose them. You can be allowed at least time to transition back to your home country. That is very important. You shouldn't be attacked, you shouldn't be beaten, but you should be given time to live. And once that time is given, just leave. Don't fuss about it. Go back to your country and try to build it. If you are a Kenyan, come back to Kenya. Let us build Kenya together.
South Africans and xenophobia. Are South Africans xenophobic? The answer is no. And let me explain. Because there is nothing wrong with demanding law and order. South Africans just want law and order. But then there's this whole confusion of saying, oh, South Africans hate other African immigrants and they want them out, and all these other stories that are being created around it. Here is exactly what most people are not understanding. Also, South Africans themselves don't really understand what's going on here. You see, most illegal immigrants in South Africa that are coming from African countries are coming from banana republics with completely dysfunctional governments and really shitty countries and dysfunctional shitty cities. So when they look at Johannesburg, CBD, the way it is right now in its shitty state, they don't see anything wrong with that. And then when you come out and say, oh no, we think there's something wrong with what you're doing here, the type of businesses you're running, there's no order, you're not accountable, and you're making the streets really look dirty, they think you're hating because they have never really known order. And one of the mistakes that the government of South Africa has done, this is also a problem in Europe right now. They let immigrants from all the broken countries, they let them in their country without any formal training of how they should be conducting themselves whatsoever, or at least a test when they're applying for a visa or something like that. And now this has created this bigger problem. And it's so unfair right now that people can look at South Africans and blame them of xenophobia when there is clear evidence of pressure in the public service, in the hospitals, from the schools, from pretty much everything. Because what happens is most of the illegal immigrants, they benefit from the public service, for all the public services, but they contribute very little because they are unaccountable. They're not in the system. So they take all the good stuff, and then when it's time to pay up, they don't really participate in the paying stuff because they're in this gray area where they can choose to participate in the economy legally. They can also just choose to opt out. And this gives them a very unfair advantage. But there is this problem in Africa where you're not supposed to call out problems when they appear simply because of skin color. There's this whole stupid Pan-Africanist narrative that people like to parrot. But these are our sisters and brothers. Yeah, sure, but they also have to still be accountable. You cannot just watch cities being destroyed and crime rising, and then you just have to keep quiet simply because they're your brothers and sisters. Let me tell you something also. You have to understand that skin color is not enough for creating some form of alliance. The average South African, the average black South African has a lot more in common with a white South African than they have with, let's say, a black Congolese person. Culturally, of course. So let's not use race as some form of a basis to create an alliance that is not compatible at all. There's a lot of incompatibility between South Africans, locals, with immigrants that come from other countries. And if people want to live in South Africa, I think or in any other country for that matter, you move to a new country, you conform to the norms of that country. You don't expect the people in that country to conform to you. And then also, and people say, but they don't give the same energy to white immigrants. Yeah, of course, because of proximity. When they're walking in Joburg CBD, in its shitty, filthy state that it is right now, who do you see they're vending on the streets pretty much in all major cities right now in South Africa? Who do they see they're competing the jobs with? In their neighborhoods, who are the people that they live with? The majority of people that live in townships. Their neighbor is not some white person, right? They're competing for resources with the next African immigrant. So of course, people will point out to the things that they find concern with. Who is whoever is peddling drugs that they know? It's more likely an illegal immigrant from an African origin. We should not shy away from these problems. It's just reality and we have to deal with it and get it fixed. But this mindset of trying to hide away from problems is exactly what even the South African government itself is suffering from. They don't want to address the hard stuff. There are countries or there are nations that are creating more problems than others. There are certain crimes that's more prevalent in certain nationalities than others. These are real and they need to be addressed. But on average, South Africans aren't xenophobic at all. This same thing is happening in Europe as well. People are starting to complain about illegal immigration because of all the problems that it's creating. The problem is illegal immigrants take the same cultures and customs that is responsible for destroying their own countries, and they like to import it into the new countries that they move into. I think that is a wrong move and it needs to be called out.
And skuzaneni futhi sisodwa, people that are not in South Africa, either you are in Zim or you are somewhere in the diaspora, it would be better if you guys really don't get involved in this fight in a way that ends up affecting us who are living in South Africa. We are the ones living in South Africa, right? Yes, we can be mistreated, there can be xenophobia and whatnot, but this thing of insulting South Africans online, limoshela thina, because most of them do not know where you guys are. Let me also address South Africans here. Most of the people that are insulting you are not in South Africa. If someone is insulting you, provoking you, and they are in South Africa, we give you permission to deal with them. I don't know how. Take them to the police or whatever, or call the police on them. Because honestly speaking, guys, let's not act as if we don't know where we come from and how we have suffered. It's not easy to leave your home country and come and live in a foreign country. It's not easy. We are here because let's talk about
the xenophobic mess going on in South Africa one more time. So the Nigerians who are crying tattoos here talking about how South Africans are being xenophobic, they don't want us in their country and blah, blah, blah. And so what? They don't want you in their country. Don't go. Abi, you no get house. What happened to your house? Somebody does not want you in their country. Why are you running to their country? Think about it like this. Imagine I have a house party that I'm throwing and I choose to not invite you specifically. You that is complaining, getting your feelings because another man is not inviting you to their home. You should be asking yourself why. And it's not even just South Africans. Ghanaians don't want your ass either. Other countries don't fuck with us. Nobody wants us. I'm Nigerian. Bitch, I don't want y'all niggas in my house. We are not liked all around the world, and there's a reason why. America is probably the most tolerant place towards Nigerians, and we still get there, and a lot of us disrespect them. And this is simply because our arrogance is too loud, and people are tired. How long are they going to keep tolerating our bullshit for? When they still got their own bullshit to deal with that we're not helping resolve. The only people who claim to like Nigerians are people who have a thing for Nigerian men. You just want Nigerian dick. But if your home is very uncomfortable and reeking of insecurities, that's when you're getting your feelings because somebody does not want you in their home. Maybe you should be looking in the mirror and asking yourself, why is my home not comfortable to begin with? Maybe you should be giving your energy into fixing your country. And I keep hearing some Nigerians talking about how Nigerians helped South Africans fight apartheid back in the day and blah, blah. And So what? That was back in the day. Thank you. You're supposed to be your brother's keeper, but you're supposed to do it out of the goodness of your heart. As in, you're not supposed to expect anything back in return. That is what it means to be a good Christian. This isn't the Bible for all of them. What kind of Bible for it? But the problem is that a lot of y'all are very performative and very disingenuous with your goodness and misses. If you don't know how to give without expecting anything in return, do not waste your energy. So just because you helped me build my house that time, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But you're not entitled to shit. It is still my choice to choose to invite you or not. And right now, I do not want you in my house. Do not come. Fix your own home first.
So, truth be told, that a lot of our African brothers and sisters, a lot of them actually hate South Africa because many of them are suffering. So they secretly are wishing for the downfall of South Africa, while they are using South Africa and they hate South Africans.
Well, there you have it. Those are some of the thoughts and sentiments coming through there. Please do follow them on various social media platforms to get a broader sense of their contributions and their views when it comes to topics such as these and many more. And of course, official news outlets to get responses from governments, because this is actually a diplomatic discussion in all. Now, when we look at what is being said in some of the videos, it is refreshing to see that there are other Africans who actually get it, who actually hear South Africans, who actually see the pain of some South Africans. We know that there are people who feel differently in South Africa, and that is what a democracy is. We will not all see and hear the same, thing or way, but what democracy also dictates is that the majority rules, right? That is for another video. Now, there's always that other narrative that keeps on popping up, that it's because it's an election year. But if it's an election year and each time it's an election year, this is still the issue, doesn't that tell you that the previous year it wasn't fixed, the other year it wasn't fixed, that year when it was brought up previously it still wasn't fixed? Hence, it is still a card that can be played. That should be something that should, bother anybody who cares about South Africa. It's the same as the other card that was used a long time ago, which was the apartheid card. We milked that one, I won't even lie. But it also showed that if apartheid ended and there was a good progress in terms of equality in South Africa, not just in terms of laws, but also in terms of wealth and economic power, there would be no card to play because there would be enough for everybody, right? So all of those cards that are available for abuse, it shows that there isn't enough being done to resolve them. Maybe the next card that will be played is the one that is coming up now. The boy child is being left behind. The girl child is taking over. Now it also would show that there isn't a balance. So something being exploited, yes, is wrong at times, but it also shows that it should be attended to. That is for another video. What are your thoughts on how these sentiments were laid and how other people actually understand that to have a functioning country, to also have a functioning Africa, there are laws and those need order for them to help the state to execute its duties. Let me know what your sentiments are down below. Please give this video a thumbs up and I will see you on the next video.